to last year's unfortunate incidents that happened on 25th of June, Mr. Speaker, where a number of cases are under investigations. Mr. Speaker, a few years ago, the question of Baby Pendo. Mr. Speaker, a few years ago, the question of Koome. Mr. Speaker, I disclose here that lawyer Kimani was my friend. I knew him. Mr. Speaker, in all those investigations, Mr. Speaker, the Independent Police Oversight Authority did their job. Even as Senator Metu was saying, there might be a cover-up. In the case of Senator Kimani, because I follow, Wakili Kimani, in that particular case, Mr. Speaker, there was an attempt to cover up. But, Mr. Speaker, because of the work that IPOA did, 6 police officers are now, Mr. Speaker, on the queue waiting to be hanged because of what they did to kill a lawyer, Mr. Speaker, whose job was only to defend his client. Mr. Speaker, therefore, there is enough precedent to deal with matters that are related to police brutality and extrajudicial killing. Mr. Speaker, I personally, even though I am not part and parcel of this investigation, I have no doubt in my mind, Mr. Speaker, that if the speed that IPOA is using and the Corporation National Police Service is giving, Mr. Speaker, that the perpetrators of this heinous act against Albert, Mr. Speaker, will be brought to book. And, Mr. Speaker, I have no doubt in my mind that if our judiciary, working closely with the DPP and the investigators, these people will just follow the same route that other police officers in the past have followed who have committed this heinous act. I wanted to give that assurance to the people of Kenya. And the Kipchumba of that time is the same one. Mr. Speaker, I went to Nakuru. Brian Odhiambo, his mother confronted me because Brian Odhiambo was kidnapped and taken to, I think it was National Park. Mr. Speaker, the investigations have stopped. The arrest was not happening. But, Mr. Speaker, when I came back, I told the investigation authorities it's your responsibility to make sure that those who have participated in the kidnapping of Brian Odhiambo must be brought to book. Mr. Speaker, as a result of that pressure I put in as a Cabinet Secretary, those people were charged in the court in Nakuru. Mr. Speaker, on matters of abductions, since I entered office, I have been very vocal, Mr. Speaker, including an investigation that is ongoing regarding a member of parliament. And, Mr. Speaker, we will unearth all those cases of abductions. Mr. Speaker, when we came to office, even though I was not the Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Speaker, the President gave directions to the country during campaign and after we came to office that he does not want to see extrajudicial killing, he doesn't want to see bodies in River Yala, he doesn't want to see bodies in River Tana, he doesn't want to see bodies in Abadeas of people who have been abducted and killed. Mr. Speaker, we may not have exterminated completely these criminals who are doing these acts. But, Mr. Speaker, I can tell you there is no systematic or planned such acts in government. And, Mr. Speaker, there is not by accident that as this administration came to office, there are no bodies that are found in River Yala or River Tana, Mr. Speaker. Why? Because we took a stand position, Mr. Speaker, and will continue in that direction. And, Mr. Speaker, I am glad that now we enjoy this level of democracy and freedom to speak. Even those who presided over the ministry when bodies were floating in River Yala, Mr. Speaker, now have the freedom to call us into order. And, Mr. Speaker, it is because they know this is a government that is responsive to the things that the people of Kenya are asking for. And I want to assure the nation that I am the same Kipchumba who was a valiant soldier in this house. I will use the same vigor, Mr. Speaker, to exterminate all kinds of, Mr. Speaker, criminal activities within the police. And the police know. And I have told them clearly, in all the forum, Mr. Speaker, I established what is called Jukwaa la Usalama. In this Jukwaa la Usalama, all the OCSs attend the meeting. In every county, Mr. Speaker, we've completed coast and eastern 14 counties. Mr. Speaker, in all those forums, I want to assure the House that as a Cabinet Secretary, I have told the police officer in no uncertain terms that anybody who is going to be found to carry out such kind of extrajudicial killing will carry their burden. Let me come to the specific questions, Mr. Speaker, that touched on me. Number one, Mr. Speaker, that was the first question by Senator Kalwale. Mr. Speaker, there is Senator Ojwang asked Mr. Speaker about, again, and I've responded to that question generally about my record and so forth. Mr. Speaker, on the extrajudicial killings, Senator also Ojwang asked Mr. Speaker whether I have given any policy directions related to, Mr. Speaker, this issue of Mr. Speaker, how to handle an arrested person. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the, let me just refer to this. if you look at the police standing orders, Mr. Speaker, at the moment, Mr. Speaker, and I don't want to read so that I give time to everybody to respond, because it's a long list, maybe I'll table later. The police standing orders already prescribe and provide, Mr. Speaker, how to handle a police officer, including before you book in, not a police officer, a suspect. Before you book in a suspect, you must confirm that he was in good health or not, Mr. Speaker. And those regulations...
Honorable Senators, he has just said he will table, but
yes.
He wants to pick a few statements from
yes.
there before he does that.
So, Mr. Speaker, it says that the guidelines, Mr. Speaker, require that you must determine the health and general conditions of the suspect. Every arrested person shall be granted police bond and bail at the earliest opportunity. All suspects must undergo mental and physical health screening at the time of booking. The suspect must be immediately booked upon arrest and entry record in the occurrence book. All movements of the suspect into and out of the cell must be recorded in the OB. And if you had the investigations that are ongoing, they are telling us when he was booked in, when he was removed, Mr. Speaker, and that will assist the IPOA in the investigations, that occurrence book. Mr. Speaker, police cells must not be overcrowded. Space per detainee must conform to minimum standards. The booking officer must inform the suspect of their basic rights. Communication must suspect all this. It is not the absence of the legal framework or policy directions that led to the killing of Mr. Albert Ojwang, Mr. Speaker. It is blatant disregard of the law and the Constitution. And that's why we are not coming here to give excuses that it is in the absence of a policy direction from the ministry. No, Mr. Speaker, it is just blatant disregard. If you see how that gentleman was beaten, Mr. Speaker, the person who did it is an animal. And it calls upon all of us to say that that person must face justice, and it at the shortest time possible, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, there is absolutely no reason on my side, Mr. Speaker, to try to hide anything, Mr. Speaker, because that investigations, as I said earlier, covering other previous police officers have led to them being held into account. Mr. Speaker, Senator Mungatana asked the question of training of police officers on the questions of human rights. I must confirm here that there has been progressive growth in terms of training of police officers. However, Mr. Speaker, the truth is that because of lack of resources, Mr. Speaker, our police officers, last training they have is the day they were recruited, Mr. Speaker. Only those in the higher cadre, Mr. Speaker, and all who sometimes get to go to promotion get to be trained, but a large number of our police officers do not get to go through this promotion. And therefore, one of the things that the National Police Service has been pushing, and we will push with them, and I'll help them push this issue, is to make sure that budgetary allocation is provided, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that the police get money to continuous training and updating their knowledge on human rights. Mr. Speaker, it's also expected that when you punish perpetrators like this, Mr. Speaker, it was always expected that we would send a message to others. But like any other society, when you have a force of 120,000 police officers, you will find a small number of them, Mr. Speaker, violating the Constitution and the law. Mr. Speaker, Senator Mogeni, I suspect I've answered this question, whether I had any responsibility, supervisory responsibility as part of the Security Council, and I said yes. Mr. Speaker, the only answer I gave that I didn't have an eye on, and I am not supposed to do, is to meddle on specific investigation. If I do so, it will reach a stage where our Cabinet Secretary will be picking people politically on who's to be charged and who's not be charged, and that is what the Constitution tried to remove from us. Mr. Speaker, on the question of Senator Wambua, I think generally I've also answered by the statement I made, except to add that, Mr. Speaker, I want to assure my friend Senator Wambua that I did demand answers from the Inspector General of Police. The only difference is that because I'm a Cabinet Secretary, I cannot demand in public. I cannot call a press conference to demand speedy investigation from the Inspector General or to request him to make sure that the people of Kenya get answers in good time. It is because we work together. I can give him a call and to tell him to speed up the process. And I think if you think that this is an issue that was reported on Sunday, and Mr. Speaker, today is Tuesday, the speed, Mr. Speaker, is commendable. And I believe that if the IPOA can move in the same speed, it should be in few days, and I don't want to commit myself because they are independent. They should commit themselves to, in the shortest time possible, to make sure that that file is taken to the DPP office. I also agree with the sentiments from Senator Veronica Minor, Mr. Speaker, on the human rights, on the reform program, that it must continue. There is a team that is currently constituted in the ministry that is working on the reform program. I have also asked a team, my own team in my own office, to look at all the legislation on issues of abductions and extrajudicial killing, if there are also areas that we need to close the gap to make sure that at least internally from our police force, there is no possibility of any person involving themselves in that issue. And Mr. Speaker, if I get areas where it needs legislative reform, I will come back to this House for support. Mr. Speaker, I agree with her that in one way or another we must support Albert's family, and I hope that those who will be found culpable also will be held into account, Mr. Speaker, over and above us just supporting from as government, and also all of us who are sitting here, perhaps from our own calling and generosity. Mr. Speaker, there was also a suggestion from Senator Dulo that we may need to look at the use of the computer misuse law. Mr. Speaker, we were here, we debated this law, there were issues, it went to High Court, it went to Court of Appeal, where it is at the moment. Mr. Speaker, some of those issues, we can relook at them. Mr. Speaker, even the team that I've constituted in my office, I've told them to look at all the decisions of the courts, including Justice Ogola's rules, among others, Mr. Speaker, on how to handle a suspect, so that then we can see if we are getting the standing orders or we are coming up with new regulations that will make sure that our police service is a bit, Mr. Speaker, up to date. Mr. Speaker, I know that I have been asked whether I should run away from this responsibility. Mr. Speaker, for the 6 months I've been in this office, nearly 6 months I've been in this office, the effort and the energy I've put to revamp this ministry, Mr. Speaker, gives me hope that in the near future we will see the fruits of this responsibility. Mr. Speaker, I know that in moments like this, like those who went before me and others who have other responsibilities, Mr. Speaker, these are the moments that the duty to serve overrides, Mr. Speaker, the condemnation to throw in the towel. It is important as a leader, when you are faced with challenges, to provide solutions. If you become the kind of a leader that runs away from solutions, Mr. Speaker, then you miss that opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I've been asked by Mr. Nyutu Senator Nyutu and Senator Kalwale, Mr. Speaker, the question of why, Mr. Speaker, I should not ask the DIG Langat to step aside. Mr. Speaker, let me say this, that, Mr. Speaker, this is an ongoing investigation. To the best of my knowledge so far, the information we only have is that the Deputy Inspector General of Police, despite being the DIG, took the step to report what he thought was an act of, or a crime committed against him. And Mr. Speaker, went low as reporting this to the DCI. And that investigation was done. And in the process of this investigation, somebody has died. Mr. Speaker, nobody has told me here whether the investigations lead to a particular result, whether it is to protect him or to exonerate him or to charge him, Mr. Speaker, is not my responsibility. That responsibility rests with independent police oversight authority if they find any culpability, Mr. Speaker. The rule of law demands from all of us, God forbid, should a senator here, at the rank of minority leader, for example, report a case to the police and the suspect is arrested and dies in custody, God forbid that the minority leader, someone will say he must take responsibility. In the same breath, Mr. Speaker, there must be a link between the crime and the individual. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I will ask IPOA, and as I said earlier, as the Cabinet Secretary, I will not play a role in pushing for a particular person to be charged or a particular person to be exonerated. The evidence must lead to the suspect, Mr. Speaker. And when we are going for anybody, it must be based on evidence. Otherwise, if we lose that rule of law, people will be taking advantage of such occasions to do the same. Mr. Speaker, ask yourself, I was here in this chamber, Mr. Speaker, when as I said, my friend Kimani was abducted by police officers and killed in Machakos. Mr. Speaker, I was here when the case of Pepe Pendo happened. I was here when Koome happened. Mr. Speaker, the process, even when people thought that there will be no justice, justice was found because the right process was followed by IPOA. I think we should support IPOA to do their job. instead of getting ourselves to the direction where the House can direct who should be charged and who not be charged. Mr. Speaker, I was a bit worried. I know there is privilege in the chamber. I was a bit worried when senators divert the attention of determining who is to be charged and who is not to be charged. Mr. Speaker, it violates the same Article 245 of the Constitution and affects the question of rule of law. What we should be demanding is that every person who will be found culpable, led by the evidence, must be brought to book, regardless of the position, regardless of his relationship with anybody. Mr. Speaker, and the last thing was, there was something to do with reforms again. And to close in, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to assure Senator Haji. Mr. Speaker, when Senator Haji spoke, I was fighting tears because he spoke for all of us and he spoke for this country. Mr. Speaker, the life of Albert Ojwang is as painful, Mr. Speaker, as the life of Father Alois, who was killed by criminals. It's also as painful as the life of that person killed in Garissa. It's the same as the ones who died in Todonyang where I visited recently, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, in the national security architecture, we take every life seriously. We are glad that there is an opportunity today to discuss the question of the life of Mr. Albert Ojwang. I do not take it away from those who brought it to this chamber. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to assure the country that we take the same seriousness in every other life, just like the case of Albert. And I hope that also this chamber and the Republic will be conscious to deal with these issues when they come before us. Mr. Speaker, I remain seized of this matter. I will remain accountable to this House, and therefore, Mr. Speaker, I'm ready and willing to ensure that I respond to all the questions that this chamber. Mr. Speaker, in any case, in the statement I was going to bring to this House, there are also very weighty issues about abductions and police brutalities and citizens killing during protests last year. And I believe that, Mr. Speaker, when we get the time to come back again, these issues will have to be ventilated based on the responses that we are going to bring to this chamber. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now we are going to hear responses from the IG. IG, you mentioned the name of the senator and the question and proceed to respond so that we save on time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. The honorable members of the Senate. Let me start by saying that I appreciate you very much. The questions that were raised here, they are questions that are weighty. They are questions that are very valid. They are questions that are also going to assist us, even when we are looking at our standard operating procedures and so forth. So I really, really appreciate your contribution, the questions that you asked. They are very, very important to us. Second, Secretary, Mr. Speaker, sir, let me say that when I was being vetted by Parliament, I did inform the Parliament that I will operate within the frameworks of the law. And I demanded the same from my officers, the members of the National Police Service, to operate within the framework of the law. That is the reason why my